Our Cricket South Africa has launched a professional women's league, which has been welcomed by the new LoveLife Trust. The league, according to the organization, is a significant step in promoting gender equality, empowering young girls and paving the path for a more inclusive and equitable sports landscape. LoveLife says that the establishment is a historic milestone that holds enormous promise for South African girls and young women. To unpack this further, I'm joined by Chief Executive Officer of LoveLife, Patrick Kulati. Good afternoon to you, Patrick, and thanks so much for joining us. Of course, a historical milestone indeed, and something that is long overdue. Just your relationship with the Cricket SA in the context of forming a professional women's league.
Thank you so much, Cindy, and good afternoon to your viewers. As LoveLife, we want to express our support to the Cricket South Africa for indeed establishing this league for women. Firstly, for the fact that this is going to increase the visibility of women's sport in South Africa. It would also create opportunities for investment by other corporate bodies and other social organizations into cricket and many other sports. In fact, what has happened is that this development coincides with three important developments that have taken place this year. Firstly, the women cricket team of South Africa played in the World Cup as a finalist. We had Manyana playing in the World Cup, and we also had the netball World Cup team of women playing. So all of these activities and all of these present an opportunity for the country to support and rally behind women's sport in general. And as LoveLife, we have a strong presence in the communities where we are doing our best to support women's sport, but also sport in general, in partnership with the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture.
Okay, so we understand the benefits of really putting women sport on the global stage, because this then requires a certain level of competitiveness that we would then have to match at world-class standards. But from a developmental point of view, where there may not be the necessary resources to developing that talent, how far is LoveLife involved in ensuring that the requisite talent is readily available, not only for when there are big sporting occasions, but generally to grow the league as well?
Indeed, that you hit the nail on the head there, Cindy, because you see, it's one thing for the teams to appear on the national stage, but where as a country we've sort of trapped behind or failed in many respects is the death of sport in general in the communities, in the townships, in the rural areas. It is in those areas where, as LoveLife, through what we call active lifestyle program, which basically is a program that mobilizes young people in the communities, in the schools, to participate in opportunities that get created by leagues, for example, by the Department of Sports, Art and Culture, to make sure that our young people, particularly in this case, young women, so we mobilize them, we encourage them, we bring, for example, into the communities some of these these stars, so that young people can be inspired. You see, the big problem here is that we need infrastructure, like sporting facilities, transportation for young women to go to practice. We need safety. All of these things require that we all come together to make sure that our young people are supported in order to participate productively in the sport.
And as you're saying, it's a collaborative and intentional effort that is required. But we've seen, even with Netball South Africa, how that had transformed because of the caliber of leadership there, in the sense of, you know, applying your own lived experiences and making sure that you make a difference when you are leading a group of athletes, especially at the level of a national league. Having said that, with Cricket SA, your view on where we stand in the delay, one would argue, why hasn't there been a league before? If you're able to answer that, Patrick.
I will leave the cricket South Africa to respond to that. But where we come in is to appreciate the development. We're saying there has been a delay. This thing should have happened long time ago. But the fact that it is happening now is something for us to celebrate. But we are also saying that there are other sporting codes, for example, soccer. We've had all the shenanigans and the problems relating to Banyana before they played. We need those problems to be resolved to make sure that there's equal play, equal opportunities, so that the young women who are playing there can do that. Cindy, I was in Cape Town to attend both the first and the last matches, the final matches of the World Cup. South Africa women of netball, the match, they played so well. It was electrifying. In fact, it was the first time for me to attend, I'm not proud about that, a professional netball game. To see that, I was blown over. And we need to have those kinds of things happening in the provinces, in the local areas where we are. It is where we come in as LoveLife. When we speak to the young people in the schools, in the churches, in the school, in the communities, to say, through sport, you can make something out of your life. You can make a living, you can earn, and make sure that you even go overseas and play in these national World Cups that take place.
But the reality for now, Patrick, and I appreciate that you say that, because the incentive or the benefit, what would attract young girls to participate in Cricket SA, where the reality is that they cannot apply their skill in a sport on a full-time basis because it's not yet established. So you have to have a day job while you pursue your country national colors. So there needs to be a point where it is a job, your purpose or your calling that you get into, and you're remunerated accordingly.
Indeed. In fact, I had an anecdote where the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Mr. Zizi Godo, was apparently attending a function, and he started seeing the women going out where the cricket were playing. And then he said, "What is happening? Where are these ladies going?" And then he was apparently told that they have to go and do work. They have to do, day jobs, meaning that there is still a gap, because you do not want that. You want a situation where they are professionalized. They earn out of their professional sport. So we still have a long way to go to that point to make sure that happens. So it is at this point where we're saying, yes, the investment has been done now. It sounds like there is a 15 million rand for over a period of 3 years by the Department of Sports. But we need more than that. We also need other entities like the corporate sector, the other sectors that have the resources to provide the resources to make sure that the young women are able to play and are supported, so that they do not have to work and look at this sport as a part-time thing. So I think you hit the nail on the head there. That is what we need as a country. We need to accelerate the rate of transformation and investment in the sport, so that we don't have the kind of problems that we now have. Also, I think the issue that you mentioned earlier on about leadership. Leadership is a big issue in the sport.
No, absolutely. And as we unpack it, and I'm sure as the programs or more about the modalities are shared, we'll engage with you if an opportunity does arise, Patrick. But really appreciate it for your time. Chief Executive Officer of LoveLife, Patrick Kulati, reacting to Cricket SA's announcement to formalize the Women's League within Cricket SA.